right, everybody, good morning. Happy Wednesday. As always on Wednesday, go ahead and take out your Chromebooks. Start with Word of the Week, number 15. This week's Word of the Week is meander, okay? The word is meander. It is a verb. It means to wander aimlessly or casually without great destination. So, for example, if you're going to say, like, let's say you guys are walking in the hallways, and somebody's going, stop meandering and get to class. That means stop walking around and get to class, okay? So just to kind of give you guys that one example there. Good, so go ahead and work on that. Give you guys about 5 minutes, get that done. Adam, do you have a Chromebook?
I forgot it.
Do you want to go to the media center?
I could just take one. Drop them off.
Okay. Yeah, maybe just go for right now, that way you can have it. And then let me see your planner so I can sign you to go. Good morning, George. All right, by a show of hands, who is done? Okay, so does anybody want to share an example of the definition that they wrote for this one today? Jose, do you want to share your definition, your example? Wyatt, what about you?
On my example,
Yeah, for the word of the week.
I said, sometimes I just meander around the basketball team waiting for my coach.
Good, yeah, so Wyatt said, sometimes I meander around the basketball gym waiting for my parents to come. Good, so again, meander, it means to walk aimlessly. So like I said earlier, giving you guys that example, when you're walking the halls and somebody comes up to you and says, hey, get back to class, stop meandering, they're saying stop wandering the halls. So basically it just means stop wandering around, stop just wandering aimlessly, just go to your destination, get there. Yes, it is walking because it is a verb, so it's an action word. Okay. So, well, you can, yeah, I mean, like, you could be driving, I guess, and, like, be, like, meandering around town. Like, yeah, that works, too. Yeah. All right, Adam, you get that all good, taken care of? Okay, awesome. Alrighty, so, awesome. It has been about 5 minutes. If you're working, keep working for a second. I'm going to go over the agenda for today really quickly with you guys. Okay, so for today, we did Word of the Week. We are going to review poem reflection number 1 that we did. You guys remember that one? That we did the fire and ice one? Yeah? Okay, good. And then we're going to begin poem reflection number 2. So we're going to do another one. Again, I'm doing these just to kind of ease you guys into poetry, kind of assess what you guys know. This one's going to be a little bit longer. So the first one, Fire and Ice by Robert Frost, that was a little bit shorter. This one's just a little bit longer. So when you guys see it, don't panic. I know you guys are capable and you guys can do it, and I'm going to go over it with you as well, okay? Just like we did last time. So, just so I can kind of get an idea from last time as well, how many of you guys enjoyed the poem that we read last time? Just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Most of you liked it? Okay. How many of you feel a little bit more confident when it comes to literary devices or poetry? A little bit? A little bit? Okay. That's what we're going to work on it again today. Okay? So that's okay. And then we're going to begin your college and career readiness. So, like I told you guys, the rest of this week and the next week, I really want to start getting you guys ready for college or career, whether that's getting your resumes ready for your career and or college, and also getting you guys ready for the application process for university, community colleges, or wherever you guys want to go. So today we're going to kind of get started on that, take the first step towards that way. We'll finish that up with tomorrow, Friday, and then Monday and Tuesday are going to be heavy college and career days right before Thanksgiving break. That way you guys can go home with all that fresh in your mind for your families and have that talk when you guys get home over the break, maybe about where you guys want to go. And maybe you guys can even use the break to drive up north, go see NAU, go to GCU, ASU, U of A community college, maybe kind of walk around to get the feel for the campuses if that's the path that you want to go on. And if you want to go straight to career, then I hope that you do some research and really know employment rates, your rate of pay, things that you might need to know or do in your field, things like that. So We're going to kind of dive into that today, just kind of get started with that. Any questions? No? Okay. And then today you guys are going to be able to analyze and answer questions related to poetry using the poem reflections, and then you're going to determine your plans for the future, again, using the college and career readiness, okay? So we need laptops today, pens and a pencil, pens or pencil. Paper is optional for your assignment, and then you're going to need 2 sticky notes, which I'll put up here, and you guys can come grab one of each, okay? So let's get started with this today. Yes, George.
Hello, quick question.
Oh,
Do you know when I already turned in the permission slip, but do you know when the ASVAB test is?
Ooh, yes. I saw the ASVAB test on Mrs. Bachati's board. I want to say it's this Friday. I'll double check for you though, okay, and I'll let you know. I want to say though it's the end of the week this week. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take a look really quick, guys, though, at the first poem reflection that we did. All right. So, can everybody see that? I'll make it a little bit bigger too in a second. Okay, so remember we did Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. So the poem read, "Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if I had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to know that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice." Okay, you guys remember that? Okay, remember these literary devices that I have up here on the board that we kind of used, and we pointed at them and we kind of showed where they all were in the text? Okay, that's what we're going to do again today. So I'm going to go ahead and assign you the new one. And I try to kind of pick a poem that was relative to you all, I think, right now, as far as like where you are in your lives, and just kind of like persevering and getting through this. I know that right now this is kind of a time where you're maybe losing a little bit of steam, but you just got to keep going. Okay, like I said, do not panic when you see the length of this poem. You all are capable, more than capable, of reading it, and I'm going to read it with you. I just like to be honest. I like to be honest with you all before you all see it. Okay, so here's this assignment today. It's going to be okay, I promise, okay? So we're going to read the poem below titled "See It Through" by Edgar Albert Guest. In one paragraph, so this is going to be after we read it. In one paragraph, a minimum of 5 complete sentences, just like last time. Same exact thing, I didn't change that. Answer the following questions, okay? You're going to answer, what do you think the poem is trying to say? So kind of get a feel for maybe what you think the general meaning is, okay? Is there anything that stands out to you? Okay, is there a line that you were like, wow, I really like this line. Maybe I'll keep it in my head for future and times when times get tough, right? Because you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Are there any words or sentences that are unclear or confusing? Okay, so if there's anything, a word, a sentence that's not clear or that you don't understand or know, write it down. Just say, hey, I think I would have understood this sentence better if I would have known what this word means, okay, or meant. So, and then I can go over that with you guys and kind of explain it and kind of get you guys kind of a better idea of what they're talking about. I'm going to try and do it too when I read it, though. And then you're going to give me 3 examples of where the author uses literary devices, so these up here on the board, throughout the poem, okay? You may complete this assignment on paper or on an online document, whichever is easiest for you. So either way, pen and pencil, paper, or on an online doc, okay? So let's go ahead and let's take a look at this poem. I'm going to read it out loud to you all. That way we can kind of read it through once together. Can everybody see it on the board? Yes? Thumbs up? Good to go? Awesome. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. Okay. When you're up against a trouble, meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin and set your shoulders, plant your feet and take a brace. When it's vain to try to dodge it, do the best that you can do. You may fail, but you may conquer. See it through. Black may be the clouds around you, and your future may seem grim, but don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim. If the worst is bound to happen, spite of all that you can do, running from it will not save you. See it through. Even hope may seem but futile when the troubles you're beset, but remember, you are facing just what other men have met. You may fail, but fall still fighting. Don't give up, whatever you do. Eyes front, head high to the finish, see it through. Okay? I hope that you guys are also following along on your own docs as well. Reading through that once, somebody tell me kind of what they think the major theme of this poem is. Even if it's just a word. Wyatt, what do you think the major theme of this poem is?
Like, seeing through your trouble.
Good. Yeah, getting through your troubles. George, what did you say?
I said motivation.
Motivation. Good. Yep, that's a good one. Anybody else? Alan, what do you think this poem is trying to say? Okay. Well, even if we might not like them, just kind of based on what I read to you, what do you think it's kind of trying to say? Even with the repetition of the word of the title, see it through. What do we think? Okay. We had George, you said it was motivation. We had Wyatt, you said it was seeing it through your troubles. Good. So a major theme about this poem is encouragement and hope. Okay. So it's really to like encourage you. So, when it's saying like, when you're up against trouble, meet it squarely face to face. Okay. Those first two lines, it's saying whenever you're in trouble, meet it face to face, face it. That's what it's saying. It's saying stand up and face it. Okay. Don't shrink away. Don't run away like some people tend to do when they're in trouble. Face it. Own up to it. Okay. So that's what it's kind of saying. It's the major theme is like encouragement and hope for this poem, which is why I chose it, because you guys as seniors, you're coming to this point in your lives where you're going to have to make this decision that we're going to talk about later today, career, college, or maybe you don't know. And through this process, and I'm sure as you guys have met through life even now, up to your age now, you're going to be faced with obstacles and adversaries and people who are just, you almost feel maybe out to get you, or who are just things that are in your way where you feel like, man, I just can't, I'm just hitting a brick wall. I just can't get through it. That's why I chose this poem. Because I want you guys, even maybe after you leave high school, to maybe think about some of these words or maybe reflect and just say, I'm going to take a stand. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to face my problems, and I'm going to tackle them head on. Right? So good. So that's kind of why I chose this poem on the theme of what we're talking about coming up here with college and career and life after high school. You're all going to face something in your lives that's going to make you want to quit. It's going to make you want to give up. Maybe you already have. And I hope that you don't. I hope that you see it through. Just like high school and your career here and your diploma. I hope that you see it through. Okay? Alrighty, so what we're going to do now, we're going to look at some literary devices within this poem, just like we did last time. And we're going to see if we can point any out and see where any are. Okay. And for this assignment, guys, just like the last one too, I'm not grading you on accuracy. I'm just grading you on your effort. So I just want to see that you try. That's why I ask you questions like, what's difficult for you? For your own self-reflection. What's difficult? I'm not asking you specific questions. I'm not asking you, just it's all about effort and just trying and getting more familiar with poetry. I know some of you, Alan said he's not very fond of it. That's okay. Some people aren't. I'm not the most fondest person of poetry. But sometimes it's just good to understand it a little bit better, or even kind of figure out where you maybe struggle with it. That's why we're doing this. That's why I'm having you guys do this so we can work through it together. Okay? I'm not giving you this assignment saying, go ahead, go forth. I'm going to go through it with you. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this here. So looking at the board, all of the literary devices that I have on the board today, they've been up there for quite some time now, right? They've been up there since about 2 weeks since the last one that we did. So we have assonance, the repetition of vowel sounds in the same line. Alliteration, the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. We have imagery, which is visual symbolism that evokes a mental image. We have symbolism, the use of symbols to represent ideas or qualities. We have personification, which is giving human qualities to inanimate objects. And we have metaphor, a figure of speech that refers to one thing by mentioning another. Okay? I hope that as I said those out loud, you kind of remember the last one we went over and what we did and the different symbols, the different imagery, things like that, the alliteration that we went over. Okay, I hope it's a little bit fresh in your mind. So let's go ahead and take a look. And just like last time, I'm going to color code it for you. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go over this. I'm going to go through it. I would love your participation, but if not, that's okay. I understand poetry is not the easiest thing in the world. That's okay. I'm going to go over these, figure out the literary devices with you, and then you're going to be on your own to finish this assignment. So I'm basically kind of meeting you halfway as far as I'm giving you where the literary devices are located, and then it's going to be your turn to explain them in your assignment, okay? Got it? Okay. All right, so let's take a look. So anybody see any assonance? So again, the repetition of vowels, sounds in the same line in a sentence. Anybody see that? Assonance. Look up here on the board. Look at the definition. Do you see it? Yes, Chris. Sorry, say it one more time. Not quite. It was a good try. Anybody else have any idea of where it might be for assonance? Think about vowels. A, E, I, O, U. Anybody? You want to take a wild guess? Brian, you want to take a wild guess? Okay. Alrighty, so where this occurs in this poem right here. Alrighty, let's see. Nobody? Take a wild guess? Okay. Alright, it's going to be right here. Plant your feet and take a brace. Okay? That's where assonance is located. Plant your feet and take a brace. So, just in case anybody didn't quite see that one, take a brace. Take a brace. With the A. Okay? I'm going to color code that up here for you all so you can kind of see where that is. Okay? And again, that is there on the board. Okay. All right, next one. Anybody tell me where they see alliteration? Alliteration. Anybody see it? Alan, read the definition of alliteration for me. On the board. Read the definition for me of alliteration.
The occurrence of the same letter or sound at the same
Good, very good. Yes, good. Again, that is the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. Can anybody see in this poem where we might have two words that are close together that kind of sound the same? Maybe they start with the same letter to give you a hint, side by side in the same line.
Face to face.
Okay, good. Let's see that. Point that out to me, George. The first right up here?
Yeah, it's like the sentence of face
Okay,
to face.
so almost. So that's good. The only thing is that these words are like right next to each other, so they're right side by side. So look again. Can you see anywhere where two letters that start, or two words that start with the same letter are side by side and have that same kind of a sound? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. All right, so it's going to be here. Eyes front, head high to the finish. Head high. Your head high. Okay, this is where you can find. Yep. Oh, that is where you can find alliteration. Head high to the finish. That is where that is seen. And I hope that as I go through this that you guys are taking notes. That way you can use this on this assignment. Okay? Again, I am color coding it to make it a little bit easier for you to see it. Make sure that you're at least maybe trying to take some notes a little bit. Okay? Alrighty. Anybody tell me where you can see imagery? Imagery in this poem. Anybody tell me where you can see imagery? Hey, George, read the definition for imagery for me on the board. Mhm.
visual symbolism that evoke a mental image.
Very good. Yep. Visual symbolism that evokes a mental image. Typically, it evokes your five senses. Sorry. So, can anybody read a line that kind of talks about the five senses, or where you kind of get that it evokes your senses, and it's like, oh. Anybody see that? Anyone see where you can like maybe picture in your head what he's talking about? You can picture it. Anybody? Say that one more time, Drew. Not quite. That is going to be possibly an answer for an upcoming one, though.
Future Mason.
Okay. All right. So, I'm going to give you one right now. One is going to be lift your chin and set your shoulders. Can anybody, when you hear that line, visually picture that? Lift your chin and set your shoulders. What does that mean? That means hold yourself high. Hold yourself high. Lift your chin, set your shoulders, okay? That is imagery. That is something that you can picture, right? Or that you can even maybe feel. Or if you read it, maybe you're sitting there and you're going, shoulders back, head high, things like that, okay? Good. Anybody have another one? Now that I've shown you that one. Anybody else want to take another guess?
Alliteration.
For imagery.
Your future may seem grim.
Not quite. Think about, look at that one I just highlighted in orange, right? Where else do you think something similar might be? Wyatt.
Ball still fighting.
Sorry, say it one more time.
Ball still fighting.
Ball still fighting.
Or is it ice front and high to the finish?
Not quite. So I'm going to show you the other two.
Running from
So this is another one, right under it almost. Plant your feet and take a brace. So this is kind of where they're like, plant your feet and like brace yourselves. Okay. So is that something you can image? That's an image in your head, right? You can like see he's planting his feet, or you planting his feet, bracing himself. Okay. That's another one. Okay. And anything else? Yes, Roman.
When it's vain, try to dodge it.
Not quite. For imagery. Let me see.
Keep yourself in fighting trim.
Good. Yes, that is correct, Wyatt. Keep yourself in fighting trim. That is the third one. That is good. That is the three that are in this poem. Lift your chin and set your shoulders, plant your feet and take a brace, keep yourself in fighting trim. When you hear that line, that last one, keep yourself in fighting trim, what's the image that comes to your mind?
Like keep like your focus.
Stay in shape.
Okay.
Good, Roman, stay in shape. That's what it's trying to say. Keep yourself in fighting trim, stay in shape, keep yourself ready, okay? Good. Alrighty. Next one. So that was imagery. That one is orange. What about symbolism?
Black maybe clouds
What did you say that one more time for me, Adam?
Black maybe clouds around it.
Very good. So the black clouds is the symbolism for this poem. So when they talk about the black clouds, anybody have an idea of what that stands for or what that represents, that symbol?
It's just not good.
Not good, darkness, yeah. So basically it's kind of, just to generalize it, it's just like it symbolizes the problems, right? It's a symbol for the problems, the difficulties, just the bad, like George was saying, in a person's life. So the black clouds is a symbol for problems, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look here. Black may be the clouds. Good. So when I talk about the black clouds, I'll write this here. So black clouds. That represents, does that represent again? Tell me. Give me a word. Problems, the problems a person faces. Okay, so that's what that is right there. That is your symbolism. That is going to be pink. Okay, metaphor. Metaphor. Anybody can point out to me where you see a metaphor. And in case you guys need a little bit of a refresher, a metaphor is a figure of speech that refers to one thing by mentioning another. Jose, did you have an idea? No?
Oh, me and it squarely face to face.
That is going to be an answer to a different one.
Would it be running from it without speaking out?
Okay, so metaphor is when you're comparing two different objects. So the main one here in this text is going to be this one right here. Black may be the clouds about you. Okay, because we're comparing black and clouds, saying it's around them. Okay, because it's making a comparison between two different objects, between clouds and the color black. Okay. And black clouds, again, stands for the challenges or the problems in somebody's life. Okay. Alrighty. And then next one. So that was that one there. For metaphor. Personification. Personification, which is what again? Anybody? Shout it out. What's personification? It's on the board behind me. What is personification? Adam, since you're right there, you want to read that one out loud?
Giving human qualities to inanimate.
Very good. Giving human-like qualities to an inanimate object. So, I think, Alan, what did you say earlier? About meeting it in the square of the face. Okay. Take a look at the poem. Where do you see that the author gives human-like qualities to something that's not human? Wyatt.
Trouble mediates when
Oh, you may fail but still fight. You may fail but still fall, still fight.
You're close. Very close. What is the it, Adam? Okay. So, anybody want to give a wild guess? Adam was very close. Huh?
When you're up against trouble?
Good. When you are up against trouble, could you like literally, is trouble a person? No. So when they say, when you're up against trouble, you're like, you know what they mean because they're giving life to an inanimate object, but it's not, trouble's not a person. And in this poem, and that line right there, they're treating it like trouble is a person. That's like to say, when you're up against Jose in a fight, that's a person. But, Jose, I know you would never get into a fight. But what I'm saying is, like, they're giving that human-like quality to the word trouble, which is not accurate. It's not a real person. So, good. And then the next line down too, so it says, this one here. Okay. Okay, and then it's kind of important to note too, these two lines, I would say together, exemplify personification. Because it's saying, when you're up against trouble, meet it squarely in the face. Does trouble have a face?
No.
Is there an actual face? No, exactly. That's why Those 2 lines are examples of personification, giving human-like qualities to inanimate objects, okay? Very good. Alrighty. So those are the 6 literary devices that I have written for this poem for you guys to take notice of. Does anybody have any questions on any of these literary devices that we just went over? Thumbs up if you feel pretty good about it now. Good? Okay. Are we like, a little bit? Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of this and I'm going to post it on the classwork page. That way you guys can have it. If you guys can't really see it too well, you guys can see that on the class page as you guys do this assignment. So, I'm going to make a couple extra notes up here, like talking about, up against trouble, face to face, not having a face. I'm going to make a little bit more notes so you guys can kind of see that again. But other than that, right now, what I want you guys to do is get to work. Go ahead and get to work on that poem reflection number 2. It shouldn't take you guys too long. We've already done this once. We've just went over all the literary devices. I need to see 3. I need to see you write about 3. There is 6 on this board. Pick 3. I color-coded. Each word has a color next to it. I might change the second one because it's kind of similar to the first one, but each of those has a color next to it. So pick 3 of those. If you're not sure, again, look at the board. Look at what we wrote. Look at what we underlined, highlighted, all that good stuff. That way you guys can write that down and just kind of explain that in a sentence as far as like how that makes sense, right? And if you need help, let me know. I can come around and help you and explain it further if you need me to. But let's go ahead and get to work right now. Again, this is really just to gauge how you guys do with poetry. If there's anywhere you're confused, take your time, read through the poem again on your own. If you need me to read it to you, let me know. But read it through once on your own. After we just made all these, notes and annotations here, read it through once more on your own. And go ahead and answer those questions for me. And again, it's simple questions, things like, are you confused anywhere? What do you think it's trying to say? So go ahead and just answer those for me now. You can do that on a piece of paper using pen, paper, and pencil. You can do it on a Word doc, so you can open up a new doc. This assignment is posted, so go ahead and get working on this now. Give you guys about maybe 10 minutes or so. The last 5 minutes of class, or give you guys about 15. Give you guys 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes to work on this. And then the last 5 or 6, I want to start looking at that college and your career ready. It's just a Google question that I have for you guys as your exit ticket, just to go ahead and get us the brain flowing, get us thinking about that next step. Okay? Any questions? Thumbs up if you are good to go. Perfect. Okay. All right, so go ahead and get started. Like I said, I am here if you need me. Use me if you're confused. Wave me over. I'll explain things to you if you need me to, if you need clarification. You are welcome to talk to the people around you and ask them any questions or for clarification if you think that might help you as well. But this should be done independently. But again, if that helps you talking to your peers, that's fine too. So let's go ahead and get to work. Use this time wisely. I would like you to be done by the end of this period, but if not, I understand. It is not due until Friday. So you guys have until Friday, today's Wednesday, to get this done. But this is already up here on the board. It's fresh in your mind, so maybe try and get this done now. And I'm here too. So, and this is the only day we're really going to have to work on this in class. Say it one more time. Yeah, it could, yeah, I would. I mean, I gave you 3, so I would say maybe just try to use those 3 first. But yeah, I think that could also work as well. Yeah, and if you have any questions on if one or if that's imagery personification, let me know and I'll come over and clarify. Yes, even if you're mostly confused about it, write me then 2 sentences that you're confused, why, where, and then just give me 3 literary devices and 3 sentences. That's all you got to do. Okay, so if you're stuck and you don't know what to write, even if you just say, I don't quite understand this word, so 5 sentences, at least 5, so paragraph. So 2 of your sentences can be like where you're confused, so I don't understand this word, so in turn maybe not really understand the line. Or you can say, I didn't understand this whole line, what it's saying. Or you can even just say in general, I don't understand this poem, which I hope you do, because we kind of went over it a little bit in the major theme. Or you can say, I really like this poem, and I like the theme that it stands for, hope and determination, and persevering.
We're just supposed to go one paragraph of what we think about the poem, correct?
So one paragraph you can talk about, all those questions I put in the instructions, use those to brainstorm. But I do need to see 3 literary devices, specifically because we went over them and they're on the board.
So we're not supposed to make our own, we're just supposed to select them and just describe them. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I was about to line a whole paragraph.
No. Yeah. That's why I told you guys we're doing half of it together, basically. Yeah, we already went over literary, so you just got to pick 3 of them that we've already gone over.
What do you have to do with that? I don't understand that.
What do you mean?
I understand the other part, answering the questions and all that.
Mhm.
That.
So literary devices, so it's important for you to understand with poetry where they're located in the poem. So that way you can go back, let's say in the future you ever have to deal with poetry like in college, and you have to take an English class, which a lot of times in your gen eds you do. If they're going to put up poetry, maybe you can even look back at this and go, or think, alliteration, right? That's, the occurrence of the same letter. Oh, that's right, we did an assignment on it with Ms. Caceres. Where was that? Let me look back at that doc, or let me think back. It's, it's here. So that's it's a tool to help you prepare for the future. And if you're not really going to college, that's okay. If nothing else, it's just to help you better understand poetry and why poetry is poetry and not just an essay, right? It's not just a body of writing. It has rhyme, it has rhythm, it has different pieces of literary devices in it that make it different. That make sense? Okay. So yes, that's why I want you guys to write 3 of them to get more familiar with that. Just to clarify, or I guess to kind of give you guys a little bit of an easier way to do this in case you're struggling a little bit with the literary devices part. If you want to copy and paste this poem that I posted for you on the directions into your documents, and highlight like we kind of did here, and then down below you can say, the line I highlighted yellow shows alliteration. The line I highlighted red shows a metaphor. The line, that's fine. If that helps you remember it, and if that's easier for you, that's okay. If you wrote a sentence and you said, here in the poem, a metaphor is shown in, stanza 3, line 4, that works too. Or a metaphor is shown when they talk about, the black clouds and problems, okay? So either way, however you want to do it, whatever's easiest for you. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so go ahead and just finish that up. About a minute, take another minute. 5 sentences total, 3 on literary devices. Yep. So 3 on these, and then your other 2 should be either answering one of the questions I posted on the instructions, or telling me like the major theme is this, or something like that along those lines. All right, if you are still working, try and wrap up in about a second here. I'm going to go over what we are doing next. This is your exit ticket out this door today. So really try and get what I'm going to go over next done today before you leave in the next 6 minutes that you have. So let's go ahead and take a look really quickly. I'm going to post it now. Again, you have until Friday. You have until Friday to get the poetry assignment done. So if you need more time, take it. That's fine. Email me if you have questions. Come see me if you have questions at any time and point. Yes, Brian?
You posted the screenshot in Google Classroom?
I will do that right after class just because I'm using my phone right now.
Yeah, no
So
problem.
after class, I will. That way you guys can have that. But if you guys want, you guys can take a picture, or you can take a picture of the board right now. So if you want to come up and take a picture of that really quickly, of the literary devices.
Because the
Yeah.
color coded.
You're good. Take a picture of the literary, take a picture of that. Either way. Okay, cool. All right, let me know when I can take it down. You guys are good. Okay. Wyatt, I'll move so you can take. Do you want to come up here and take a picture of this one?
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And again, I'll post it later after class is over. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take a look. So I just posted a question for you all, a Google question. So go ahead and let's open that up right now. If you're working on your poetry assignment, just go ahead and put that to the side, put that on hold for right now. Again, you guys are going to have until Friday. I know. Are you looking at the question? Okay, I had to admit, it's a little bit long. The Google questions that I'm asking it's long because of the fact that I have to think about all of you. So some of you are college and some of you are career. That's why some of the questions are geared toward career and some of the questions are geared toward college. So pick the questions that are more focused on you and your path. Going to go over that in 2 seconds. So questions for the Google question, let's take a look at it, okay? It's college and career readiness step 1. Do you plan on going to college or straight into a career? If you want to go to college, do you want to attend in-state, out-of-state, or online? If you plan on going straight into career, which career are you thinking of? Okay. What would you like more information about? Okay, so see how some questions are towards career, some questions are towards college. So pick the question that is more focused on you, or just kind of write to me about both, maybe, because college leads to what? College leads to a career. So, but some of you want to go straight into a career, which is fine too, either way. And some of you might be going to college saying, I have no idea what I want to study. That's okay too. Some of you might not even know, even like I put at the bottom. If you're unsure about what you want to do after high school, hopefully by the end of the week we can figure that out together, okay? So hopefully we can kind of figure that out, get you kind of going in the direction that you need. So respond to that in about 2 sentences. If you need to write more because you have more questions, that's fine. But respond to me in 2 sentences for that Google question. Basically, if you're college bound, tell me in-state, out-of-state, online, maybe where you want to go. And what do you want to know more about for college readiness? What's something I can help you go over to prepare you? If you're career bound, what's your dream career? What's the career that you want to go into? And then is there anything that I can do to help you prepare for that? Okay. George, you have a question? The Google question? The Google question is not going to be graded, but I would like you to answer it. That way I know how to help you. I don't know how to help you if I don't have, an idea of what you want to do. And if you're not sure what you want to do after high school, like I said, that's okay. Put that there. I'm not sure, Ms. Caceres, what I want to do. Can you maybe help me figure it out? No problem. I'll help you figure that out. That's not a problem at all. Okay? The last thing before you guys leave, on those sticky notes, on the red one, write for me, what was your dream career as a kid? When you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up? On the yellow one, put for me, what do you want to do now? As an adult or almost adults, what's your dream career now? So again, your red sticky, what was your dream as a child? As a child, what was your hopes? Did you want to be an astronaut? Did you want to be the president, a doctor, a vet? On that red one. And then on the yellow one, what is your dream career now as almost adults ready to go out into the world? Please, no, that's okay. Please leave those on your desk. I'll come around and collect those after you guys take off. But go ahead and make sure this Google question gets done. And at least 2 sentences and the stickies. All right? Leave those for me on your desk before you take off. Other than that, you guys are good to go. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day.